Okay, welcome everybody. Thank you for spending your evening with us on Tuesday in July. And we have some great information for you today. My name is Renata Smith. I'm coming to you from Seattle and right now, and I want to introduce Christy. I've got a lot of background noise, like I said, so I'm going to just pass it on to Christy. Christy is our fearless leader and she does an amazing job at this. So put together any questions that you have and we will come to those at the end of the presentation as well. Take it away, Christy.
Thank you so much, Renata. And it's such an honor and privilege to be here with you all. And just thank you so much for the time that you're taking out of your July. I can't believe it's already the end of July. And Renata, thank you so much for all that you do. You're traveling all over North America and you have the time to help us with technology and help us share this with so many people. And I appreciate all that you do for you and your beautiful team that you have created. So thank you so much. I appreciate you tons. So again, my name is Christy Chapman and I'm a presidential director with this company, which just means that we are helping collectively as a team, a lot of people heal, and we're helping a lot of people with age reversal. And I have to tell you, this is probably the funnest company that I've ever been a part of. I've been in this industry of MLM. I like to call it making lives matter. And I've never seen anything happen so organically where people are using our technology, they're loving their results, and they're sharing it with their friends and family and people they care about, and new friends that come along on the journey, just because we have something so special here. And when you're listening to this today, I want you to think about that ripple effect of what your one yes could do, because I'm going to share my son's story. And I'm very grateful that I had a friend that shared this technology with my son's doctor 2 years prior to my son having an accident. So I am so grateful for Shelley's yes. And so think about what your one yes could do for somebody in the future. We all know people that have pain, that could enjoy some age reversal, that maybe need less prescriptions in their life, that maybe need to get rid of a walker or a cane or even a wheelchair. I've seen small miracles all the way up to large miracles. We all know people that are going through surgeries, or we can help prevent surgery. So we have a technology that is definitely making a huge difference. And our team is collectively on a movement to help heal 100,000 people in the next year or two, and we're well on our way. So thank you, brand partners, for being here and sharing this with your guests. And thank you, guests, for taking the time again to be here with us. So I learned about this technology. It'll be 2 years ago, back in August 11th. I hurt my foot. It swelled up. It got inflamed, and it hurt, and I couldn't walk on it. I couldn't work out for 2 weeks. And I didn't know when I was going to be able to get back to the gym, but a friend of mine and my business partner, he said, I have this stem cell patch, this technology. You can see I'm doing the energy enhancers, which is one of our patches. I'm doing the detox right now, but the stem cell patch looks like this white patch here. It's about the size of a quarter, kind of like a sticker or Band-Aid that you put on your skin. And he said, I started using it for my shoulder and my back, and it worked for me. Within 24 hours, he started feeling some relief and felt better. He was in an accident and he had old injuries from sports way back when he was younger. And he said, let's put it on your foot and see what happens. And within a couple hours, I was able to walk on it. And the next day I was able to go to the gym and resume my life as I knew it before this injury. And then I kept thinking, gosh, I know people in pain. I know people that are going through surgeries. I know people, we're not going to say we're going to cure any kind of chronic illnesses, but I do know people that I can help with this technology. And I'm in my 50s. And so age reversal, this is clinically proven for age reversal. So that really got my attention. And I saw the stories and I learned that it was a 20-year-old company and that we just haven't really heard about it in the United States yet. And the reason why is that our X39, which we're going to focus on mostly, is our stem cell patch. And that just came around back in 2019. And since that stem cell patch came around, the United States is starting to hear about what LifeWave is doing, because we all know what stem cells can do for our body. We know that it helps us heal. We all know that it can help with age reversal, and there's no injections here. So the technology started really exploding in the United States, and we actually have had month after month record-breaking growth in our company because of this X39 stem cell patch. And again, all that means is that we're healing a lot of people and giving people their life back, and also preventing a lot of things for coming in the future. So I started sharing with people organically. It started happening. People were interested. They started using them. They started sharing with their friends. And then my son, which was 18 at the time, he got in a horrible motorcycle accident. And it wasn't his fault. He was close to home. He was fully geared. He got cut off and he got flown 50 feet. And that caused him to have a traumatic brain injury, several strokes. He had a brain bleed, and he was in a coma. And the doctors told us there's a huge chance that he might not make it. And so I immediately thought, oh my gosh, we need to patch him. That's why I'm with this company. That's why I learned about this technology. It wasn't for my foot, it was for Andrew. And we started patching and praying. And within a couple of weeks, my son woke up. They weren't sure if he was going to be a vegetable or not because of the brain scans. They weren't able to get his swelling under control to be able to do that MRI or the CT scan. So, but when he woke up, half of his body from the strokes, his face was drooping, he couldn't use his hands. But Andrew started doing some therapy in the hospital. So he did some inpatient therapy, and then he did extensive outpatient therapy. And some of the injuries he had as well, besides the trauma to the brain, was he shattered his kneecap, tore every tendon and ligament in his knee. He shattered his wrist. The doctor said it was like dust. They didn't know if they could repair it and get it back together. By the way, they didn't know if Andrew would be able to walk normally, or if he'd be able to walk up the stairs or have full function in his knee ever again. He had a AFO, which was a brace on his foot because he had drop foot, and he also had neuropathy. 5 broken ribs, bruised liver, collapsed lungs. He had COVID going in, and he got MRSA and pneumonia. So to say that my son was in bad shape is an understatement. And when he woke up, he, like I said, half of his body wasn't working, but he worked very hard. And at month 4, he was living on his own, which is a huge, huge triumph. That was a huge thing for him. He was able to take showers by himself, no assistance. And the only thing I would do was come down so I could take him to rehab every single day. And so we did that. And by the way, he got rid of his brace, which they thought he'd have to have his brace for the drop foot for the rest of his life. He got rid of that at month 4. And then at month 6, he graduated from his extensive rehab. He was one of 4 young men that had traumatic brain injuries and other injuries. And he was the only one that actually graduated and did not have to come back to do other treatment. And he also, so he was working, he started driving, he got his license back. He really started thriving again. He has a girlfriend, and he got an emotional support dog that we just love. And he never went through depression, and he never got addicted to pain medicine. So we're very grateful for that. And so God first always, but I believe that God gives us tools to help heal our body. And so this technology has done wonders for my son. It's been about 1.5 years now. And if you didn't know Andrew, you would have no idea that he had this situation happen about 1.5 years ago. He can run now. He can jump on a trampoline. He wants to go snowboarding this fall. He has full function in his knee, full function in his wrist, and he's doing very, very well. And the doctor said so he had several doctors. He doesn't have to see them anymore except for his family doctor. His family doctor said, at all my years, you're the worst person I've ever seen have such a miraculous recovery. He said, do you think that those patches helped you, that your mom gave you? And he said, yes. And again, God first, but he said yes. And so I'm forever grateful for this technology. And again, for Shelley for sharing with Andrew's doctor 2 years prior. So that is my story. And that's why I'm so passionate. That's why I'm here right now sharing with you. So we're going to talk a little bit about the products, the science. The only thing I'm going to say about the business opportunity is if you're the kind of person that likes to use products and you like to share them with people, this is a tremendous opportunity for you to do that because the patches, they work and they organically network very easily. And I'm grateful for the fact that I had this kind of business. I really call it a global cell phone business because I was able to build a business and share while I was at my son's bedside during the hospital at rehab. And our team continued to grow and grow. And I'm forever grateful for that because I never had to worry about money. I never had to worry about my, bills getting paid. We have plenty left over. Our expenses were through the roof at the time. And also we were able to get out of debt because of what this company and technology has done for us. So, and the team, of course, the team is amazing. So I'm forever grateful for them. So that's what I'll say about the opportunity. Let me just move this over here real quick. Okay. So introduction to science, introduction and the science. So LifeWave is both a technology and a brand. And none of us have really heard about this company or this technology, even though I told you it's been around for many, many years. But I believe going forward, this is going to be a worldwide household name. Month after month growth, like I said, I believe our company is going to be poised to be almost $1 billion in the next year or two, which is so exciting. So many people that we're helping. So stay tuned for that. And these patches are very innovative. They're unique and they're created with cutting edge technology. And our CEO, remember I said that he's the scientist and the inventor. Well, he has something coming out this fall that's even better than our stem cell patch. So stay tuned for that, which we're very excited about. Now, the reason why the reason why Andrew's doctor let us use the patches because nothing goes into the bloodstream. It didn't interfere with anything that they were using in the COVID ICU. And there's no harmful ingredients in the patches. They're organic crystals. So we call it a phototherapy, or a more scientific verbiage is photobiomodulation. And what we're really doing is just using light and heat from our body, our own body's light and heat through infrared to create a change in our body. So it's just a tool for us to make changes in our body for the better. And if you have not done this yet, go to activationpatch.com. Maybe one of my friends can put it in the chat there, activationpatch.com. And you can watch a short video that will explain it much better than I can, how phototherapy works. So just know that when you're wearing these patches, it can go through fur. So we patch our pets. It can go through collars, their collar. I tape mine on the inside of my dog's collar after I use the patch. I use the patch, then I patch my pup. If for some reason you have allergic reaction to the adhesive, you can put it on your clothing. It's not going to interfere or harm you. It's going to still work effectively. A lot of my friends, if they have headaches, they'll put it directly on their head. It can go through your hair. And so just know that infrared light goes 3 to 6 inches from your body. So it's going to bring light back into your body and still activate the patch, even though it's not directly on the skin. And inside each patch are organic crystals that are engineered with a specific frequency that activates your own human body's healing intelligence, which is so powerful. These patches, we have 11 patches total. Each one has organic crystals, and each one has a specific frequency that's going to tell your brain exactly what it needs to do. So again, we're going to focus on X39 today, our stem cell patch, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later. So the science. So I know a lot of you are really familiar with what acupuncture is, right? So a lot of us are familiar with what acupuncture is doing and how it's working. And I joke around and I say, if I told my son, he had 10 surgeries, if I told him we were going to do acupuncture, son, and we're going to put a lot of needles in you, he would have got up out of that hospital bed and ran because he hates needles. But what we're doing here is we're just taking this little patch and we're putting it on acupuncture points, and we call it acupatching to go. And so it's just super powerful. And again, well, I didn't share this with you, but each sleeve is a 30-day supply. So X39, 30-day supply. And each sleeve will come with a brochure telling you exactly where to put the patches. So you don't have to guess. And these are all acupuncture points that have been clinically tested, okay? LifeWave patches are registered as a Class 1 medical device. And that's just a fancy way of saying it's just like a Band-Aid. So if you can wear a Band-Aid, even if you can't, if you're allergic to Band-Aids, you can put it on your clothing, but you can definitely wear our patches. And definitely a powerful Band-Aid. I've had a lot of people refer it to as a Band-Aid, but it's going to do so much healing for your body. We have well over 100 clinical trials. I know this says 80, but they're third-party double-blind clinical trials. And we have over 130 patents. So David wants to make sure, that's our CEO and scientist again, he wants to make sure that we know for a fact that our products work. They're proven, they're backed by science, and we know by a shadow of a doubt that these patches are going to work. We just might not, we might need more time. So some people it works right away, like it happened for my foot within a couple hours. Some people you may need a week, you may need a month, you maybe need a few months. We ask people to wear a stem cell patch a month for every decade that you are. So if you're 50, for example, you're going to want to wear it for at least 5 months. It'll keep getting better over time because remember, we're doing age reversal in our body and there's constantly going to be healing happening. But give it the respect that the patches deserve, and just know that you're going to be activating your stem cells, clinically proven, within 24 hours. So after you're wearing your patch, we like to say, pat yourself for 12 hours during the day, drink lots of water, give yourself a break at night for 12 hours, and just know within that 24 hours, you're activating your own stem cells and that own that your own body's healing intelligence. So that's very powerful. Again, there's no drugs, there's no chemicals and no stimulants, which I love. There's just little organic crystals with that frequency in there that's going to tell your body what to do. And our patches used to be manufactured in the United States, but now we've moved over to Ireland because we've gotten so large, we can't keep up with the demand here in the United States. And we want to make sure, and David wants to make sure, that we're never on back order. So Ireland has plenty of resources to make sure that we have the patches that we need for 1 billion and beyond, because we're not stopping at 1 billion. We want to help as many people as we can with this technology. So I love the fact that our CEO is definitely a visionary. So what are stem cells anyways? So So the older we get, the less stem cells we have. And it takes us a lot longer to heal, and we age much faster when we have less stem cells. Now, did you know that every cell in your body started as a stem cell? So stem cells are neutral cells. And stem cells can become any kind of cell that the body needs, and the patch will provide the signal. So for example, I shared with you that we should wear these patches a month for every decade that we are. And I'll give you an example. My mom started wearing them. She's almost 80, and she had really bad hand arthritis to where sometimes she would get trigger finger where her hands would lock up on her, and she was in a lot of pain. Couldn't open up a bottle, twist a doorknob, things like that. And so she started wearing the patches and said to me at about month 4, I don't really notice any difference. And I said, Mom, keep using them. They're going to work. And they are working. It's just they're not working on what she wanted it at the time. And about month 6 is when she started saying, oh, my fingers don't hurt anymore. Do you think that the patches did that? And I said, well, what else have you changed? She's like, nothing. And so they have definitely helped her with her arthritis. In the meantime, I've noticed that she was sleeping better. She's sleeping longer in the morning, having those vivid dreams. Her skin's looking great. She looks like she's in her early 60s. Stamina throughout the day, not taking those naps, clarity in, brain fog. I noticed that improving. And so the stem cells were working on her, but just not where she wanted it right away. So if you're wanting to use this because you have lower back pain and you're not feeling those results right away, it's because the stem cells are working somewhere else in your body that needs it most. Your body is very intelligent, and the frequency knows exactly where it needs to go. And did you know, this is let's say a fun fact, but it's not really fun, that when we're 25, we drastically start reducing our stem cells. So my daughter's 22, she's patching with us, and she's actually paying it forward now because she has seen relief in many different things. She has TMJ. Also, she has focus issues, anxiety, and she, what was the latest? Oh, also we've been using it for the monthly cycle. Okay, so that's really helping her with her monthly cycle. And she's using X39 and Eon. Eon is our patch for inflammation. That's our second best-selling patch. And it's also known as our peace patch. It helps with ADD, ADHD, peace. It helps with inflammation and so much more. So she's using those two patches. But when we're 25, those stem cells start reducing. And when we get to be about 60, 70, 80 years old, that's when you start hearing people say, oh my gosh, I'm just getting old. You'll hear the term, it sucks getting old. This is just the way it's going to be. No, we have a much better way. It doesn't matter how old you are. We can help you to start aging backwards with our technology. Every day you're wearing our patch, you're going to age a day backwards. So you could be in your 90s, which we have people in their 90s using this technology, and they are literally starting to feel younger and younger every time, every day that they're using it. So when we have less stem cells, like I said, it takes a long time for our body to heal. So when we're older, you hear people say, I'm not dreaming anymore. That means they're not getting that deep sleep that's so important. You hear, they wake up really early before it gets light out sometimes. So they're not getting enough sleep. Also, energy throughout the day. So they're taking naps, and sometimes they get longer as they age. If they get a burn or a cut, it takes a long time to heal, or if they have to go through surgery, or even, they break a bone. It just takes a long time for their body to heal because they don't have those stem cells. So it's really good to be proactive and get those stem cells in your body. So if anything were to ever happen in the future, your body's prepared and you're going to heal that much quicker. And I'm going to show you some pictures real soon so you can see what I'm talking about. X39 is the world's first and only stem cell therapy that activates. So 12 hours when we're wearing it, we're activating and regenerating. That's mean we're resting for 12 hours at night, our own younger stem cells. So if you don't know how important stem cells are, Google that and you'll be really excited to hear that we have a patch for that. And then if you don't know what GHKCU is, I highly recommend that you Google that as well. It is the holy mother grail of age reversal, and that is the copper peptide that David has figured out how to activate in our body. The only product on the market that can activate your own GHKCU to help your body heal. And again, X39 is affordable, it's ethical, it requires no injections. I like to tell people that there's a lot of transfer spending happening here, because you could be spending money on certain things and not spending money on certain things because you're investing in your health here with us. So for example, for me, I don't have to go to the doctor as much. I had inflammation in my blood. I was on medication for thyroid and my hormones. With doctor's approval, I'm no longer on that medication, so I don't have to go to the doctor all the time and get that blood work done. And I'm also saving money on prescriptions, which were well over $200 for a 90-day supply. So I'm saving money there. I have energy all day long. This is me without coffee. So I don't need caffeine anymore. Occasionally I'll have a decaf because I just like the taste of it or the experience with a friend. But so I'm saving money there on my Starbucks runs, that's for sure. My gums are much healthier. I don't have to get that special treatment every 3 months at the dentist. My mom as well. She's like, oh, now that I think about it, I don't have to get that treatment at the dentist either, which is really cool. There's some things that you won't even notice until somebody else brings it up to you. And then you're like, oh, I didn't think about that. That's happening to me. Like scars, old and new scars on your body will start to fade and disappear. So take pictures. Let's see what else happened with me. Oh, my doctor, my naturopath says that my organs are like a teenager. So hopefully that's going to prevent other diseases coming into my future, right? So I'm very excited about that. So definitely transfer spending, so affordable. Even if there wasn't transfer spending, it's $4 a day to wear X39. So here's some of the things that the patches do. Ooh, I'm so sorry. Some of the things that the patches do, and this has happened, all of these have happened with me, and then there's over 40 blanket of benefits, if not more, of activating your own stem cells. But we've talked about pain and inflammation. That is a big one. There's so many people that have pain, and it's interesting because since I've been with this company, people that I've known for a long time, I didn't even know that they had chronic pain, but it just became a part of who they were that they don't even talk about it anymore. And so we can definitely help them with that. Wound healing and skin remodeling. Definitely want to take pictures. I've seen 3rd-degree burns go back to normal skin without laser surgery, without treatment, and without medication. So old and new scars, they will fade, and it's unbelievable. Energy and vitality, and this is at the cellular level, which is really important. Improves quality of restorative sleep. That means you're getting that deep REM sleep. We need a good 7 or 8 hours of sleep every single night so our body can heal itself properly. And sleep is one of the most important things that you can give your body for healing. So definitely want to get that sleep. This is one of my favorite. I'm a gym enthusiast, so I love the fact that I can go to the gym, I can get better results like I did when I was in my 20s. Sports performance and faster recovery, especially over the age of 50. So that's definitely me. And you could have a really, really hard workout, and the next day you're not going to be so sore because the stem cells are helping you heal your body already. So I love that about our technology. Cognitive improves cognition and brain health, and also brain fog. That's a big one happening nowadays with Alzheimer's, dementia, also side effects from COVID. I hear a lot of people, and as you age, you just naturally get that brain fog. You walk into a room, you're like, oh, why was I here? And I find myself, I'll still have that moment sometimes where I forget something, but my recall is super fast. So those of you that are using X39, just kind of pay attention to your recall, because you'll be like, I walked in the room, what was I thinking of? Oh yeah, that's right. Instead of before, it would never come back to me, so I love that about it. Vascular health, so important, and reduces blood pressure. I've also heard people with cholesterol that have gotten off of their cholesterol medicine, which is so huge. Anytime we can help people get off of medicine, under doctor's approval, of course, is such a big deal. That will save them at least 7 years of their life as well. And this is one of my favorite things, age reversal of more than 4,000 of your gene expressions to a younger state. So it's not just about hair, skin, and nails, which, us ladies and gentlemen would take that, but it's what's going on the inside. Therese is our senior presidential director. She says, once you start seeing the outward appearance start to change, like hair, skin, and nails, gray hair is going back to their natural color, eyelashes growing, scars going away, it means all is well on the inside because it's going to work from the inside out. So here's some pictures of some people that have had surgeries or accidents. In this first one, only 2 weeks. You can barely see a scar there. Look at that dramatic improvement. The middle one, 63 days, and this was a car accident or a motorcycle accident. And this injury literally went through the hand to where they wanted to take his, amputate his hand. And his parents are distributors. They said, no, we're going to put patches on him. You can see that in the upper right-hand corner. And within 63 days, that picture, you guys, you can hardly tell that there's a scar there. That is unbelievable. And check this out, no pain medication. That is a big one, no pain medication. Anytime we can help people with no pain medication, and I've done it several times with this company, that's a big, big deal. This is my friend's husband that had to go through surgery, knee surgery, very, very painful if you know a loved one or if you've experienced it yourself. But he did patches before and after, and 5 weeks post-surgery, look at him. He's got full function of his leg. His scar is even better now than it was. He looks amazing. Now, this young man, snowboarding accident, 22 years old. So he's already got stem cells still, because remember I said 25 is when they start reducing. So it went right to work where his damage was on his face. And they thought he'd have some permanent scarring on his face. In only 5 days, you can barely even see a scratch, which is unbelievable. And I know he had a job interview that he was worried about going to with his face all scraped up. So he's doing just fine. And the gentleman in the upper right, he hit his face on a counter and he lost. And look at the inflammation, the scarring, the bruising. He patched quite a few patches on there. And look at the improvement in 7 weeks. It looks like his younger brother, first of all. Inflammation in the neck. Look at the jawline. I mean, that's unbelievable. And then, I'm looking at the wrinkles, but then also look at the scrapes and the bruises. It's completely gone. He looks amazing. This young lady, all is well on the inside of her body because she is just glowing after 4 months of using X39. See the 111s on her forehead. They're like completely faded and just younger and brighter looking. And I know she's happy with her results. And the young lady on the right, acne scars. Who do you know that has acne scars that definitely can affect, young or old, can affect their self-esteem? And with X39, because she's young and she has those stem cells, 3 weeks later, her skin looks flawless. She's absolutely gorgeous. So now I want to take some time. Well, first of all, let me remind you, if you're a guest today, please put your first and last name in the chat so we can put you in the drawing. We're going to do a sample. We're going to do a drawing for a sample pack of X39 stem cell patch. So put your first and last name in the chat. If you have any questions, put your questions in the chat for us as well. And we have a few testimonies that I want to share with you today. And the first one I'm going to bring on Kim. Could you share with us your patch testimonial from Tucson, Arizona?
Sure. Okay. Hi, I'm Kim.
Hello.
I'm a nurse, and I've been a nurse for about 28 years now, and I've always been interested in alternative, more natural healing modalities. Jan introduced me to the patches about a month ago, and I went to a presentation with her and started using the X39 patch the next day. I noticed the first day right away, decrease in pain. I've had neck surgery, I have back problems. The next day I noticed better digestion. The third day, more energy, and it just progressed through there. And as Christy was saying, I think sometimes we get so used to living with pain, you kind of like don't realize what's going on. I was talking to a friend on the phone and she was talking about, I think it was either her elbow or her shoulder pain. And when she was talking about that, I realized my tendonitis that I've had in both arms for about a year, affecting the elbows and my forearms. That was pretty severe. It would happen every night. And then about the last 6 months, my right forearm would hurt all day long during the day. That's completely gone. I can't say when it exactly started because I don't know. I think somewhere in the first 3 weeks. The arthritis in my hands and the trigger fingers. Every morning that I would wake up, for, I want to say a few years, at least one finger would be a trigger finger. And then the last year, all of them, and pain and stiff. And it would only be there in the morning. And as I woke up, it would go away. That's completely gone. I had a floater in my right eye whenever I looked up and out this way, it would look like there was like a black bug in front of my face. That's been going on for about a year. And maybe about 3 weeks in, that's gone. It's just amazing. I can't say enough about it. My mom had complimented my skin the other day. I also noticed my little gobble here is going away a little bit. I didn't take pictures of my arms, but I know looking at my arms that I've had like spots and stuff on them before, and they're gone. That I just noticed within the last couple of days. I've also, it'll be a little over 3.5 years that my fiance had passed away, and I started taking sleeping pills when he passed. And I have been decreasing them for about a year now, a little less. And as of 3 nights ago, I was able to go off of them completely. So that was huge for me, and I'm thrilled about that. With other people, my mom was having some acute back pain, and she's a bit of a skeptic, and I had gone over to see her. She's 78. I help her get around. She doesn't drive. I package up her meds weekly for her. And I went over there, and she had said that she had bent over earlier in the day and her back was really bothering her. And I had some patches on me. I put the X39 on her and then some LifeWave patches for the acute pain. And she was sitting down when I put patches on the bottom of her feet. And I said, "How do you feel?" And she's like, "Well, I really don't feel anything." And I said, "Well, stand up." And she stood up and she started like moving, twisting her hips around. And she looks at me with these big eyes and she's like, I don't have the pain anymore. I had a friend over recently. He's a landscaper and his fingers hurt all the time, all of them. And he said that his pain was about an 8 out of 10 the other night. I put some LifeWave on the inner of both of his wrists. And again, within seconds, he looked up at me and he said, "I could cry right now." And I'm like, "What?" And he said the pain was completely gone. And then just, I think Sheena, I think it might've been you that asked like what age. So my grandson is 3.5. And last night we were in all in my daughter's room together, and he was standing next to her nightstand, and I went to tickle him, and just reaction, he jerked and put his head down and hit his head on the corner of the nightstand. And I mean, started screaming. My daughter picked him up and she's holding him. And I'm like, all right, I nervous. I'm like, let me look to see what happened, where, and, does he need stitchers or what? And he just had a little bit of a bump here, a little scratch, slight. So she put him back down on her chest. 3 seconds later, she moved his head again, and it was like a golf ball on his eyebrow. So I was like, whoa, it was scary. I had gotten some ice, but I then said, let me, try the patches. And I put an Eon directly on the bump and then LifeWave on the bottom of his feet. And she just held him, and the bump was huge. I wish I would have gotten a picture of it, but I wasn't thinking, let me get my camera and take a picture when he was in pain like this. But I want to say probably within a half an hour, it was flat. He has a tiny bit of a bruise today, just a very little one. But like I said, within a half an hour, the golf ball was gone, and he didn't tolerate the ice. So I can't even say that it was the ice helping the swelling. So yeah, I can't say enough about these patches. They're just phenomenal. And thank you, Jan.
Wow, that is incredible. I am so grateful that you shared. And isn't it fun to help people heal? I mean, when you get those stories with the gentleman crying and then your grandson, I mean, it's so great to have these in our toolbox, right? Or in our, it's like my new medicine cabinet. I carry them in my purse everywhere I go in case there's somebody that I can help with the pain, Yeah. So thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate it. And you guys are doing
Thank you.
amazing things in Tucson. Thank you. Jan, would you like to go next, please?
Sure. I'm so happy for you, Kim. I'm glad you're on board with us. My name's Jan. I am in Tucson, Arizona. And when Christy said, that Therese actually said it, but from the inside out. And that's kind of my story. I am a health coach by trade, and I went through a life experience where a number of years I was giving service to my aging parent. And she lives in Mesa, so I was doing a lot of driving back and forth from Tucson to Mesa. Eventually, it turned into full-time care for her. And I would walk every morning. I stayed pretty much on my protocol, healthy. And that kind of exhaustion just chiseled away at my health, basically. Mom passed away. It's going to be 2 years this coming October. But I realized when all was said and done and I had a chance to catch my breath, it just chiseled away at my health. And I didn't even know the person I was looking at in the mirror anymore. My skin had aged. I hurt so bad from the inside out. The doctors kept saying, your blood work's fine. You're good. I'm like, no, I'm not. So I've been struggling for a couple of years now, just really trying to focus on my health, regain my health. And then LifeWave came into my life totally unexpectedly. Thank you, Martha. And I was really skeptical, of course, and had to do the research. And I was probably the worst customer ever in the beginning, like, what is this, and I've been in network marketing before, and I was just like, oh, but I am so grateful. I am so grateful for these patches. What I have noticed within my own is immediately I did the X39 in the Eon, and I immediately noticed like a little spring in my step, and I slept a little deeper, and I was happy. I was happy again. I had some stuff going on, and my husband was even kind of noticing. And after about 3 weeks, he finally wanted to try them. I was kind of hoarding them for myself. I didn't want to share too much. But anyway, so from the inside out is what I'm talking about here. And it takes time. So for me, anyways, with this kind of exhaustion and this kind of autoimmune, and there are certainly signs of things that have happened for me. The sleep, I'm now using the sleep patches, and that took a little bit of time to figure out what my own body's rhythm is, where I need to place them properly. So it's not like just slap them on and you're gonna boom. Sometimes you have that, sometimes you don't, but you can trust that something's always taking place in your body for the better. And so I've kind of learned that in the few months that I've been on them. And just really inflammation, pain, my muscle structure, all of a sudden through this exhaustion, I totally lost my muscle structure. My legs were so weak, and I would walk 3 to 5 miles every day. And all of a sudden the muscle structure just wasn't there. And I was like, I couldn't get from the ground up. And I was just like, what the heck is happening to my body? And it's just flat out exhaustion, just complete exhaustion that started affecting every aspect of my health. And so I am speechless, beyond grateful to be able to have, 11 different things in my toolbox that I can, try and see what works for me, what works for my rhythm, my balance, and continue to heal and repair. So thank you.
Sorry, I hit the wrong button. Thank you so much for sharing. I really love your story and how powerful, and God bless you for being a caregiver. That's a really important role. I know your family's very grateful that you were able to do that. And I know you're grateful that you had that opportunity to do that, but it does take a toll on your body. And gosh, I wish you would have had this technology when you were going through all of that, because I know for me, it helped me a lot with Andrew's situation, just the whole, with our peace patch and just some things that the patches that we have with technology that can help with cortisol stress. I think it really helped me get through the time that I was going through as well. Yeah, I'm so grateful.
A million times over, I've just in my heart thought, I wish I would have had them for my health, but I wish I could have had them for my mom. She had osteoporosis. Yeah. She was just crumbling. Terrible pain.
Yeah.
And I know it wouldn't, at that age, she was in her 80s, but at that age, it wouldn't fix her. But she was not wanting to be fixed. She was ready to go to heaven and be with her. But it would have kept her. I think it would have taken the edge off for her, and I would have done anything to help.
Yes,
you know.
absolutely,
So,
absolutely.
aging, the elderly, parents, get out there. Don't be afraid to speak up. Offer it.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
yeah. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate
Okay.
you. And again, all that you guys are doing in Tucson, it's so fun to see what's happening down there. So
Only gonna get better.
Renata, are you able to join us and share your
Yes.
story?
Yes, I hope so.
Wonderful.
Again, apologize if there's a lot of noises. Hopefully it's not too bad, but so my story is I was having
You're muted.
Okay, sorry about that. My mouse has its own mind of its own. So anyway, so she invited me to this meeting about stem cells. And so then the next day I was going to get my massage with Diane Brown. She's also a brand partner. No clue about LifeWave. And she says, Renata, I need to tell you about this, these patches and all this amazing stuff I've been able to open my business back up because of all the healing that I've had from these patches. I'm like, two people telling me this in 24 hours. I think God was knocking on my door. So I went to the meeting, just sort of like you guys are sitting here, listening to the science, listening to the technology, listening to the healing stories. And I'm like, what do I have to lose? But like Christy said, all I could think of was like, oh my gosh, I know all these people that I want to tell about this, I'm an Enneagram 2, which is a helper. And I just, that's what I do. I wanted to be able to help other people, friends, family, and so on. But of course, I signed up, started patching. The first thing I noticed was sleep, energy, vivid dreams. But within the first week, most of the pain was gone away. I weight lift, I do yoga. I wouldn't say it was totally gone, maybe about 2.5 months, it was totally gone. And now I just have full flexibility, no problems whatsoever. So for me, it saved me a doctor's visit, saved me potential more surgeries down the road and all of that, which I was not interested in. So a couple other things that it's helped me with is I posted some of this. So, I sunburned really, really bad, you guys. I mean, like really bad. And I figured out that, and I wouldn't have noticed it, except I was sitting next to Christy in one of our meetings and she had all these lists of benefits. And one of them was not sunburning. I'm like, are you kidding me? And so I was doing multiple hikes in January, short sleeves, no sunscreen, and I did not burn, like 4 hours out in the desert sun and did not burn. And I was like, holy God, seriously, I was so excited about that. One of the newest things, and I didn't even think, like Christy said, sometimes you just don't even think. So I was camping in Hood River about a month ago. And this lady comes into the bathroom and she goes, oh my gosh, the mosquitoes are eating me alive. I'm like, really? And she goes, yes. I mean, she pulled down her biking shorts and she had like 20 bites all over her. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I said, I have some bug spray in my car if you want. She goes, oh yes. And so she followed me back. I'm standing there and I'm not getting eaten. I camped there the night before. I didn't get one bite. And so didn't even dawn on me. And then a friend reached out to me. She says, Renata, do you know if X39 helps keep you from getting eaten by the mosquitoes? I'm like, why? And she said, well, because, she explained why her reason, her and her boyfriend use it. Her son doesn't. They go out and do stuff in the yard. Neither one of them get bitten at all. And their son gets eaten alive. And I'm like, I have a feeling, and that might be true. So I have been up in the Canadian Rockies. I've been in Washington State. I've been gone since end of June, and I haven't used bug spray once, and I haven't gotten one bite. And all I can say is it's working for me. So that's really cool that I don't have to spray any chemicals on me to, keep the bugs away. So overall, I think my skin is doing better, sleep, energy, all of the above. And like Christy said, when you hear about this, I went to a friend of mine who's a pharmacist and I said, do you know about this? And he goes, yes. I said, are you using them? He said, yes. And I said, how long have you been using? Known about it? He said, 2 years. And I'm like, and you didn't tell me? And so all I can do is, and you can just plant the seeds, right? You can't force people to take a proactive stance in their health. But again, so affordable. Why not try it? See what kind of benefits it can have for you. And I love getting texts and hearing all these testimonies of changed lives. And so we're here, you guys, to have the opportunity to be able to spread the word and change other people's lives. So it's been a blessing to me. It's been a blessing to my family. My mom just turned 93 on Sunday, and she's been patching since February. And the stories that she'll tell you, and all of her friends that started patching, there's just wonderful stories. So it's an incredible blessing to be able to share this with people and just get the benefit for yourself in addition to that.
Yes, well, thank you so much. I love
You're
seeing
welcome.
your mom on social media. She looks amazing. So happy
does.
birthday to her. And I'm originally from Minnesota. We call mosquitoes our state bird. So I think I need to do a post. Do you like that, Barbie? I think I need to do a post to be like, attention, Minnesota, I have something for you. Because I hate getting mosquito bites. And that's one thing I love about Arizona. I don't really get them here. So, and that's something to pay attention to. That's very interesting. I'm curious to know what could cause that, but I've heard it from multiple people now that you had mentioned it. So that's really cool. Thank you so much.
Yes,
Okay, so
yes.
do we have any questions in the chat? Or if you have a question, just simply unmute yourself and jump on in, and we'll support you with any questions you may have. Now's your time.
We do have a lot of questions, so I'll just let
Hey,
them.
Christy.
Oh, yes.
I'm just going to interrupt real quick here. I was just kind of scrolling through the questions myself, and I think Mary Beth had questioned, some autoimmune issues that she's experiencing and having to wait on insurance and kind of getting caught up in the red tape. And as far as my story goes, they kept telling me that, I could have dug deeper because I know it was autoimmune. I know that my body was shutting down in some way. And I didn't want to go through the red tape, and I didn't want to go through the medical process. And so I started patching. And so I would highly recommend patching while you're waiting for the red tape to be finalized, whatever, because you don't have to go there if you don't want to, and try the patching. Maybe you will. I don't know. You never know. But I would suggest that you try the patching long before you go into, sink deep into the red tape.
Thank you. Now, what would you recommend?
I've been doing the X39 for sure and the Eon. I started out with those two. And then I slowly added the glutathione, and I'm using the sleep patch, and we added the X49 eventually. My husband wanted that one for sure for working out. And then the LifeWave, I've found out recently, I've been sleeping with the LifeWave on the bottom of my feet. And so it's helped a lot with the hip pain that I was having. Like I said, everything was just achy, my joints, my muscles, everything. And so that would keep me from sleeping soundly because I was moving all night long, just trying to, find position. I was like agitated almost.
Yeah.
So I found that the LifeWave on the bottom of my feet, or, white on the right side, and maybe one at the point of pain in my hip, has really just calmed my body down. And then the sleep patches, I finally found my sweet spot of what works for me for sleeping. And it's been amazing. I have been waking up refreshed, and yeah. So
I love that.
I
love
would
that.
just try it before you get caught up in the medical stuff.
Yeah, I thank you for sharing. And I really agree with you 100%. And, X39 for sure. Eon is a great patch to couple with that and just start there and see what your body does as far as healing. We have an opportunity to get you a 2-month supply at a really good price, and see what that does for you. Who was that said that?
Mary Beth.
Mary Beth. Okay, thank you. Mary Beth, does that answer your question?
She said she had to turn off her screen because she had tears flowing down her face because she's just so inspired by our stories that we're
that's why we're here. Oh, you're gonna make me cry. I'm such a baby. My mom teases me because I'm always crying at commercials or anything, movies. Okay, so any other questions? Renata, you said there's a couple.
Yes, one of the questions was, how young can you wear patches? Why don't you take that one?
Okay, so for X39 stem cell, over the age, I would say 18, 20. I mean, remember, we start drastically reducing stem cells at 25. My daughter's 22. She wears the stem cell patches. But if they're under 18, they really don't need them unless they get hurt, or have to go through surgery, or they got a burn, or, a cut, broken bone, things like that. Then you could use X39 stem cell for the time that they need to heal. Eon is our #2 best-selling patch. That's for the stress, inflammation, also for peace, focus, lots of other different things. That's our #1 kids patch. So remember, Kim said she put it on her grandson's boo-boo. And so you can definitely do that, but you could wear that. I believe personally, every child should be on Eon because it is stressful out there. And if we could give them that focus during school and in life and peace, we're just that much further ahead of the game, you know, before they head off into the real world. Okay, other questions?
Is
There was
that, I'm sorry, just to add on to the question, my son has migraines.
Okay.
And I had heard that works for headaches and things like that. Is that the one that does?
So you could try the LifeWave. LifeWave is very good for migraines. How old is your son?
11.
11. So let's start with LifeWave, see how he does. Now that's not necessarily going to prevent them from happening. X39 really does over time can help people from preventing migraines. How often does he get them?
About once every 2 weeks.
Ooh, that's a lot.
Yeah.
I would try Eon and LifeWave with him and let's see how he does. We can get you both of those for a really good price. Who invited you?
Kim.
Kim.
Tom.
Okay, Kim.
Yeah.
Kim knows how she knows how to help you get that. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, I would, if it was my son, I'd be patching him right away because migraines are no joke. Okay, any other questions
There
I
was a
can support you
question
with?
about scarring. Does it help old scarring? And then also a question about the sunscreen and sunburn, which I can answer if you want.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so Amber, I think Heather, reach out to me. I'd love to chat with you a little bit more about that. As far as using sunscreen and stuff like that. I did it sort of when I tried it. I would not tell everybody to just, hey, expect that you're not going to get sunburn. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't like automatically do that. I would sort of test it out a little bit. I just noticed it and it was a weird circumstance, and because I sunburned so bad. But yes, you can use clean sunscreen, but honestly, if you reach out to me, I can give you some more information going down a whole road a little bit, how to prevent sunscreen. I mean, how to prevent sunburn, skin cancer, and all of that. There's just a lot of back medical stuff to that I can help you understand and give you some sources. If you're interested, just feel free to reach out to me. You can find me on Facebook.
Hey, thanks, Renata. I appreciate it. I just have a friend who has melanoma skin cancer, and she's very hesitant to go out in the sun. So she uses a lot of protective gear, and I've been trying to get her interested in these patches as well. But I'd like to understand more about it from you. So I will reach out. Thank you.
Yes, and my friend Carrie and I were just talking yesterday. She has someone who's been patching, and it is actually healing her skin cancer on her face. And so I can connect you up with her on that too.
I think I met that lady a couple of weeks ago. I think she's Pepper's mother.
Oh, interesting. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's definitely connect. You can find me, Renata K. Smith, on Facebook. Okay.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Wonderful. That's great. Yeah, and you should be on X39 for a little period of time before you go test that out, you know, with the whole sunscreen. But yeah, I mean, that's a great thing if we don't have to spray chemicals on our body. Okay, other questions I can support anybody with?
I think somebody had asked about old scarring, Christy.
Oh, yes. Old scarring. Yes. I have a 20-year-old scar from C-sections and it's completely gone. And I've heard it from many other people. Our mentor, Therese Santos, had many burn scars on her arms from cooking, like, 30 of them up and down her arms. They're completely gone and they were old. So yes, old and new scars, just take pictures because you'll be blown away at how much your body can heal with the skin remodeling. Stem cells are powerful. Anybody else I can support you with anything? All right, so let's talk about how to get started. So the most popular way to get started is we have an enrollment pack that's wholesale pricing. It's called Silver. And Silver is going to get you a 90-day treatment of X39. So you can really experience what the patches are going to do for you. Usually people's sweet spot is about week 3 is when people will really start noticing some type of benefit. Again, give it a month for every decade that you are. but the silver package is $300 plus shipping and tax. And if you want to customize that package, talk to the person that invited you. We can customize it as well. I would always say to start with X39, unless you're a child under the age of 18, and then go from there. If you're having pain, maybe add an Eon. So you could do 2 months of X39, 2 months of Eon for that same price of $300 plus shipping and tax. If that is not in your budget, we can help you get started at a package that is much smaller than that. And just know that you'll be starting your healing journey and you're investing in your own health, but just reach out to the person that invited you and we'll be happy to get you started on your patch journey. How many people do we have in the drawing, Renata? Did you say 10?
Yes, I said 10.
Yes, good job, you guys. Yay. Okay, so I'm gonna pick number 9.
Okay,
My favorite number.
number 9 is Mary Beth. She was invited by Vicky.
Yes, way to go, Mary Beth. If you could get your full name and address to Vicky, you said, right?
Yes.
Okay, get that to Vicky. She knows what to do with it. I will get that in the mail tomorrow. It'll be a sample pack of X39 so you could try it out. And I just want to thank you guys so much for coming. Thank you, Renata, for being on the road and always being there to support this beautiful team. Thank you for all the testimonies. I appreciate you sharing and the questions. I appreciate everybody's time, and just think about the ripple effect that you could cause by sharing this technology, using the technology with us, healing your own body and aging backwards with us, and then patching it forward. Our next Zoom, we do this twice a month. It's the 2nd and 4th Tuesday of every month. So the next one is going to be August 8th. I can't believe it's going to be August already, but August 8th, come join us, invite your friends and family, and I hope to see you again soon. Thank you so much for everything you do. Bye, guys.